These are the ingredients you'll need for this recipe. You'll need celery, heavy whipping cream, cream cheese, Parmesan cheese grated, an onion, butter, garlic powder, onion powder, Montreal steak seasoning spicy, chili powder, black pepper, chicken bouillon, peeled and deveined small shrimp, 2 bags, baby scallops, 2 bags, and mushrooms, 2 containers, all-purpose flour, some vegetable oil, and some chard or kale or spinach, whichever one you choose. For this recipe tonight, I'm using chard, Swiss chard out of my garden. Hey foodies! Welcome to Foodie Friday. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Keisha, and this is my channel, Lakisha Keene Saving Greens. And today I have a really good recipe for you guys. I mean, I made this the other night, and my husband and kids begged me to make it again, so I'm making it again. Today I'm making cream of shrimp and scallop soup. So you guys, when I first made this recipe for my family the other day, and when I say the other day, I mean literally the other day, it was just a day ago that I made this for them. I used only shrimp in the recipe, but this time I'm adding scallops to the recipe because it just sounds good. And you can use whatever seafood that you want. You could use crab or lobster, mussels. You can use clams, whatever you choose. This recipe will still work well for that. Or you can use all of the above together and make a cream of seafood soup. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to get started. I already chopped up the things that needed to be chopped up so we can get things going on the stove. And you guys, this is one of them recipes, a soup. If you watched my previous video for the 1-hour tortellini soup recipe, I'm thinking it's going to be just an hour, maybe even less, for me to throw this together because it doesn't take long to cook shrimp and scallops. This video is dedicated to 2 people. One, his name is Bob Prince, and he's a friend on Facebook. And my friend Ada, who also is a subscriber to my channel. And also I met her through a Facebook group. And now we are friends on Facebook as well. And we follow each other on Instagram. So you guys, this is for you. You guys wanted to know the recipe, and since you cook like me, where you just eyeball everything, this is for you. And so it just so happened that my family wanted me to make it again, because I wasn't going to make it anytime real soon. But they wanted me to make it again, because when I made it the other night, it only lasted that one night. And when you guys see the size of this pot, you're going to be like, whoa, they went through that soup quick. One night that soup was gone. So here we are, and I'm making this for you guys, and I'm making this for them. So I'm excited. Let's get started. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna get started by first putting in a little bit of oil and about a half a stick of butter. To this, I'm going to add in my onion. And you guys, this flame is on medium. And I'm going to add in my celery. This was about 6 ribs of celery stalks. And I'm going to add in these mushrooms. that I washed. Make sure you wash your mushrooms. Now we're gonna get all of these started. Now with these mushrooms, I've said it before, sometimes they're really big mushrooms, so if you want, you can break them in half if they're just too big, or you can leave them like how the slices are. So I'm just gonna let this cook down. And while I'm waiting for this to cook down, I'm gonna cut up all of my Swiss chard and clean my shrimp and my scallops. So I'll get back to you when this is ready for me to move to the next item. Okay, you guys, so it's been about 15 minutes and this is cooked down the way that I want it. So we're gonna start adding in some seasonings. I'm gonna start by adding in some of this chicken bouillon. Now by us adding this chicken bouillon, it takes the place of adding in chicken broth. If you want to use chicken broth, you can, and just add regular salt to it, but I like the flavoring of chicken bouillon. And I will be adding water to this, so it's going to be equivalent to like a chicken broth. I'm going to add in some garlic powder. Onion powder. Okay, and this time I got some pepper, some black pepper. So I'm going to try and add some of this in here. I'm going to add in this spicy Montreal steak seasoning. And I'm going to add in, it says chili powder on here, and it is chili powder, but it's homemade chili powder. It's chili powder that I made myself. So I'm going to add a little bit of that for some additional spice, because this blend is spicy. Okay, and then to all of this, I'm going to now add in my flour. Okay, that was a 1/4 cup of flour. Okay, now to this, I'm going to add in my cream cheese. And I'm just going to chunk it so it'll melt easier and blend better. You guys, I had to get all of that cream cheese. Didn't want to leave none of it behind. And so I'm just gonna try and incorporate this. Let this cream cheese melt down a little bit. Okay, so now to this, I'm gonna add my heavy cream. And then I'm gonna add in some milk. And you guys, I didn't have this on the initial opening of ingredients. So make sure you have milk. I just didn't pull it out of the fridge at the time to stick it on the counter there. Okay. I'll get this all incorporated because I want my broth to be really smooth and not chunky in any kind of way, except for, you know, for the other ingredients that I'm adding into it. Okay, so to this I'm gonna add water. So I add 2 cups of milk, and now I'm about to add 8 cups of water. Okay, let's put that in there. And you guys, to a hot pot, you always add hot water. So I just added the hot water to this. Okay, so I'm gonna let this come up to a boil before I add any more items to it. Okay, so now since this is at a really good boil, then I am gonna add my chard to this. And you guys, I am going to check my seasoning. Okay, that's pretty good. But I need to add, I'm going to probably add a little bit more of the chicken bouillon to this. A little bit more of the onion. A little bit more of the garlic. A little bit more of this spicy steak seasoning. I'm also adding a little bit more pepper and a little bit more of my chili seasoning. Okay, and at this point, you guys, I'm going to turn my burner down from medium to low, to my lowest setting. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit so that the chard can get nice and soft and tender, and then I will come back to you when I'm ready to go to the next step. And I'll probably just leave it uncovered. Okay, I'm back. Everything is looking really good. Now, I told you guys that I was going to leave this uncovered because when I made this the first time, I had the lid on there and just everything boiled over. And it was just a mess. It was a huge mess. It still turned out good and everything, but it was such a mess. And the only thing I could think to myself was, oh, I'm so glad I'm not videotaping this. Oh, man. I'm trying to not repeat my mistakes, you know. So anyways, to this I'm gonna start adding our shrimp and our scallops. Okay, I just gave these a good wash, and I just gave these a really good wash. And since I'm using smaller shrimp this time, I got the kind that is already peeled and tails are already taken off, because I just didn't feel like standing up there and removing all that stuff. Usually when I use bigger, larger shrimp, I'll just leave the tail part on because I like that. But since these are like a whole bunch of little shrimp, then I'm not going to stand up there and do all of that right then. So yeah, I'm just going to give this a good stir. And then I'm going to let this come up to a boil. Because I added in the shrimp and it's still cold and a little frozen, it's going to take down the temperature. That's why my pot stopped boiling. So I have to wait for it to come up to temperature now. So Anyways, I will be back when that's done. Okay, you guys, I think that the shrimp and everything is good and cooked. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to turn my flame off. My chard is nice and tender. The shrimp is cooked. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my flame off. And you guys, I did turn up my flame a little bit to get the soup going again, to get it to come to a boil quicker. The last thing I'm gonna add is the Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese goes in. And you guys, this tastes good even without the cheese, the Parmesan cheese, but it's cheese, you know? You gotta have, I'm just a lover of cheese, that's all. I just love cheese a lot. Anything that's cheesy and creamy, or just cheesy period, is good in my book. So, anyways, I'm gonna let this cheese melt on down, and I'm gonna let this soup sit for a good 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes before I serve it. But you guys, it's been an hour and 15 minutes since I started this, and imagine I'm doing this as I'm videotaping. So for you it probably would take less time, but an hour and 15 minutes is not bad for some really good cheesy, creamy, seafoody good soup, you know? So anyways, I'm gonna come back when I bowl this up. Okay, so it's time for me to dish this up and taste it for you guys. It's really nice and creamy. You can still see it's really hot. Okay, you guys, so I have my bowl right here, and I'm gonna try this for you. I am so excited about this dish. It smells good, my house smells good, and I know you're gonna love it. So I'm gonna bring you in closer to show you what I got here. Okay, so first I wanted to show you guys up close on the bowl here of everything that's in here. All of the shrimp and scallops and the chard from my garden, the mushrooms, the broth. It smells so good, you guys. And it's creamy. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you my reaction. Okay, this bowl is hot. I probably should have grabbed something to put underneath it. Anyways, here, I'm gonna try some of this broth first. Oh man. Oh yeah. You can taste that seafood. Mmm. Oh yeah. I gotta get something from my hands. Okay, you guys, I had to get something from my hands because this bowl was just too hot. It was burning my hand. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Oh yeah. Ooh. You know, sometimes what makes a real good soup is a good broth. Flavoring in the broth. And this is so delicious. Okay, yeah. You guys, this is definitely a winner. And I know I say that about all of the things that I cook, but this one is definitely a winner. It is so good. You guys, let me know in the comments if you try this recipe, and let me know what you think about it. And Bob and Ada, here's your video on how to make this soup. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys have a great holiday that's coming up. And you guys, as for me, I am going to fill this bowl up with some more soup and go sit down on my couch and watch some YouTube. The only thing this soup is missing, since I've been trying to be mindful of my carbs, is a good crusty bread. Like a good sourdough or something, you know. It's good. So you guys, until next time, as always, God bless.